Thank you for staying with us. Ladies, I need to ask you this. We've had conversations where we have talked about prenup. So a man meets you, and he's made this amount of money, a lot of money, and he wants to marry you and says you should sign a prenup. I know, we have had this conversation. Everybody was banging table. No, that is not a... Is this not the same thing as well for a man, that a man is doing to protect himself, his assets, just for the future? Don't you see it as being the same advice?
Man, we won't marry you, don't decide prenup. They give you heads up now. So you too, that kind of marriage, if you don't have armpits money, wrapper time money, all those things, you're very silly. You're a very foolish person. But I'm not saying you cannot be.
There's love, exactly.
No, because just as you said, no. Once I sign a prenup with you, I certainly will transparently show you properties that I will acquire in the marriage that the prenup would exclude you from getting. So we're going to be signing prenups. But
can't we lovingly have a prenup?
Yes, it's a loving one now.
Describing it as if it's a fight.
No, it's a fight. Because my exposure, I'm not Oyibo. Amaka, she have called Canada, she have called Toronto here. She might have exposure. But you see, my own exposure is that as a good wife, everything my husband owns, and the mama of the house, that kind of thing. So suddenly you are bringing prenup in our economy, our culture, no problem. But as I'm not a lazy woman, I cannot now own my own assets in the marriage, and the properties acquired in the marriage we are jointly sharing. Do you understand? So, but the one you acquire in the marriage, we can jointly own. But the one I acquire will not own. The reason is because, because there's a weaker partner in the marriage. Prenups are usually for when you suspect the girl. But if two people are strong-minded people, what are they? There's no fear.
Okay, it's not sounding fair.
But I was going to conclude on the wise woman analogy I put down, that you should build your own in your name and plan for your kids and build in transparency your own financial assets over time, because we are all building towards when there's no more life, really. Who carry a young go ever? We are building, nobody's packing it. You're building for security, for when there's nothing, for when you are no more and you have dependents who are weak. I saw, and the way our marriages are under the Marriage Act, as we marry, that man you say you don't trust is your next of king. Next of kin. Let's just be serious, but that's locally. Your next of kin is the man you marry, the woman you marry under the Marriage Act, in case you die interested. Nobody can't dispute them. So I had a friend.
Sorry, before you go into that story, let's take Adiola from Ikeja. Good morning, Adiola. Oh, okay. Please,
who married the devourer, like BeeCee described earlier. It was sad at the time of her passing. This woman chartered early, built our assets early, businesses everywhere, about 4 businesses. So she didn't have kids in that marriage. She was trying. And they were building, and they were writing in the name of kids, the goal. The man had a child, and he was next of kin. And we were just looking, because it was the Marriage Act.
Outside?
But she was survived. The dependent was a mom who was old, aged, and weak. All the thing go to the man.
Wow.
So, are we going to say that, she didn't plan? She planned, she built up her assets. She just got married within a short period of time and passed, and that document entitled him to show up. Now we can't do arrangements, on how all of this will come to the family. He said, no, only the house she built for her mom can go to her. He would manage the rest. But of course, what he be done waste. He couldn't manage it. So some of these things that we over-process is critical thinking that requires it with a professional.
We have Adeyinka. Adeyinka, good morning.
I think something
yes. So I think at the end of the day, wisdom is profitable to direct.
Okay.
Why am I saying that? It's important as a human being that I know my weaknesses and I understand my strengths. And that when you're in partnership with somebody, you both know who has the weakness or the strength in terms of your finances, or in terms of investments, in terms of property. Because as a woman, you can want to do certain things in secrecy, and you're doing the wrong things, and you end up losing the property or losing the money because you don't have a sense of direction. When you're in partnership with somebody, you can say that people are signing prenup. A man can bring the prenup for me to sign. And then supposing I'm the woman, there is a between both of us. He's the one that he has wealth, but he doesn't know how to multiply wealth. Supposing I'm the one that God has blessed with the wisdom to know how to multiply that your prenup, that's wealth that you have. So it's important to to understand, like, because you find that in marriages, like with my parents, my father was the custodian of all the documents, the important things in the family, the safe and things. So even if you're looking for anything or whatever document, you know that you go to daddy. Daddy keeps it. In my immediate brother's and his wife's marriage, he's the one that keeps. So you need to understand who has certain strengths. If the husband is good at sighting good lands and knowing where, having foresight to know that, like when I was in law school, there was no Lekki phase 1. And then now Lekki phase 1 was going to be this Lekki phase 1. And he had the foresight. So it's about knowing who has what strengths in a marriage, especially where kids are involved.
Is prenup not a form of transparency? We have talked about transparency here.
Yes.
Is it not someone being upfront with you? Or else the person may have access and hides it or puts it solely in his name and you are never aware. So
when someone gives me a prenup, for example, to sign, I respect you and I respect your guts and audacity. Do you know why? Because you're telling me, you're putting the cards on the table, especially to say, I love you, but this love has conditions. Yeah, and I respect that. Yes. I respect that. I respect the fact that you're telling me that, see, baby, I love you, but you know this love, you know, reach money. This. No rich property. That means you have to fend for yourself. Whatever, anyhow you have to, whatever you can get from this love that I have for you, to have your own things, good and well. But just know that if anything goes wrong, you don't have, my love does not have protection though.
Okay, Amaka, we'll come back and question that because we have Ifoma on the line. Good morning, Ifoma. Okay, I don't think she's here. Let's go on.
So that's my thoughts on that, right? So you're clear. You've put the cards on the table. So I also have to give myself small wisdom and then pick up on the cue that you've given. It's just simple. So it's all transparency. I respect that. So there's nothing wrong in that.
BeeCee, will you be able to help me explain this to show that prenup and you putting assets aside because you have noticed a certain behavior, how is it different? How is it similar?
Different. Okay. It's different. I don't think any woman who wants to build her home goes in guns blazing. When you fall in love with somebody, whether it's love or no love in the marriage, you're getting into a marriage because you want to build, you want to expand, you want to have the fruits of the marriage, your children, you want to see them in their old age, you want to still be together with this man for a very long time. That's naturally the idea. But unfortunately, with everything that is good, there are other sides. It's like two heads and tails, two yin and yang. There's always the good and there's always the evil. And sometimes, even while you're thinking good, it still ends up being evil in a way because you've likely ended up with the wrong person. So I don't think you're getting into a marriage because you want to separate what you own or separate what you have, especially if you are starting the marriage from scratch, the way some of us started. If you are marrying someone who has already lived, who has already built, maybe you are getting involved with a billionaire or something, and they want to preserve and protect, it's because they do not see you as part of that they have created. And it's okay because you didn't meet me when you were building all of that. And you are not, you don't, I believe you don't love me enough to want me to be a part of that. Or maybe you have seen something in me that says, this one will finish my money or let me preserve it. And that's okay. Once you do that, you have drawn the battle line. Even if we're not saying anything, even if I'm all lovey-dovey and all of that, I now know that in this relationship, I am on my own. It's different from getting into a marriage and then realizing that this person is either a fool.
Oh God.
Yeah, hey, if I give you examples, I have seen still living examples. Is either this person is a fool or this person has been sent by my village people to ruin me. And then you now, because of that, now choose to start doing things a different way. That's a different ballgame. So prenup and now a woman choosing to, because I have married and a fool. I've seen relationships where she's working the money, they're trying to build a house. This man is collecting the money and duping her. Yes. She's building a house for them and he's duping her.
Inflating prices.
He's only inflating. They will say they bought 500 blocks. You go there, it's 100 blocks.
And this is your own husband.
Your own husband. So in that situation, would you say you would just go transparency? You'll be a fool to be transparent.
All right, ladies. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll still look at our conversation. Please stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thank you for staying with us. So, ladies, I believe strongly that prenup and this conversation we're having, Plan B is what I'll call it, is exactly the same. One, let me do one after the other. First bullet point. The reason we're talking about Plan B is because we've seen situations in marriages where, you know, things haven't worked out. So we're advising women on how to, you know, protect themselves going forward, right? So the reason prenup came about is not only because somebody does not like you, it's because they have seen over the years how women, some women or people that have less, target people, the spouse, target the spouse that has more just for the sake of marrying them, and then they can take away from them. So for me, if you have that understanding that it's not really that we don't love you, if Plan B is not about love for you, if Plan B is not questioning trust and it's not questioning love, then we should see it the same way as prenup, because it comes from years and years of hearing. So it may not have happened to you directly, but hearing stories, seeing how human beings can be. And they're saying, for those who have money, this is how to protect yourself. It's just another way for Plan B is for women who find themselves in marriages where the spouse may not be all financially there, you know, smart. This is how to protect yourself. I just think it's good advice for different groups of people. Just as you have said.
Can I poke into that?
I beg, don't even poke matter.
Yes,
I want to answer you.
Okay, yes,
you see the way the man wake up one morning and find out that the house he's living in that he has been paying rent belong to me. That's how Plan B is to me. It's because you don't know. All of us, we have not experienced it before. It shocked you, it shocked me. So we're going to do as we see.
See, let me tell you something. Why I disagree with you, right? I hear you, but there's something they say that if they give you chicken to share for the whole village, and you cannot keep leg for yourself, they should check you. Who washed you when you were bettered? Because wisdom demands that whatever you have, you would find a way to keep some for the rainy day. Now, Plan B for a woman, whether you are in a protective husband's house
or a
divorcer's husband's house, is that you must have something aside for wisdom, for protection, for not just you and your children, but even for the man. We've seen situations where men have money, and all of a sudden the money disappears, and then they're looking to the wife, I need help, where can I get a loan? And the wife does not have shishi to bring out to rescue the home. Ha! Plan B, every woman should have it. That's our culture.
You see this,
and it's for protection of even that your husband. I've said it here. There was a time I was putting money inside Kolo. So our relationship was transparent, very transparent from the beginning. We started together, and so I knew his pay, I see his check and everything and all of that. He knows my own, and we were building together. But I was advised to always keep something aside, even from the feeding allowance. One particular day, at that time, we're building our first building here, exhausted every cash that he had, no shishi, and he needed money to pay for something urgently. And he was lamenting, hey, who do I ask for money? They're going to pay me at the end of the month, but I need to lock this thing down and all of that. And I did like this. Chest down. So I have a color somewhere. He did not forgive me immediately. It took him time, but later he understood what happened. He said, what? You have what? I said, I have a colo somewhere. Should I go and bring it out? He said, you have been saving. I said, yes. I'm not a fool. You cannot give me 40K for feeding allowance, and I will chop everything with my 2 fingers. I was so raised like that. And I opened colo, and we counted all the money. That's how I was choking it in. 1,000, 500. Hold on. We counted all the money.
Thank you,
and we brought it out.
Thank you. Let me take Ijoma. Good morning, Ijoma. Ijoma, can you hear us? Okay.
I'm enjoying this. We counted all the money, brought it out, and he was able to do what he did. He used me to preach in church.
Ijoma is here.
I'm Ijoma from Manchester.
Hello, Ijoma. Good morning.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Clearly.
Yes. Hello.
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 Ijoma, we can hear you. Ijoma, you're live. We can hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah. This is my first time caller.
Oh, welcome to
So I've been listening to this story. I've been listening to your story. So I've been listening to your story.
Ijoma, just listen to your phone,
I feel like
not the
I would like
TV.
to contribute with my personal experience.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Is she still there?
Okay, so yeah, I'm talking from my own experience. In all these things, like BeeCee said, you just handle this situation according to your personal experience. I use myself as an instance. I married to this guy. My story is really, I would say my story is funny and terrible as well. So I married this guy. We are from the same local government. We he lived in Manchester, in Bolton to be precise. I was working in River State as a nurse. So have been a very good girl. I'm not like praising myself, but people knows me. I know myself.
Yeah.
I'm a church girl. I married at the age of 36 as a virgin. So he sent people to come and do all the dowry things to Manchester to live with him. Fast forward, within the first 3 months, man, I began to see a lot of things, man. I wanted to be, but in my house, you're married, you're not going back. So, and I became pregnant immediately. So I had my first son. After I had my first son, his narcissistic behavior unfolded in his full form. He's a terrible narcissist.
Wow. Wow.
So when I saw how things was going, I just told myself, you need to get sense. I wanted to buy a land then, but when I wanted to buy that land, I wanted to just surprise him, buy that land, put it in his name, and then all of a sudden just give it to him without him even knowing about it. So when I saw how he unfolded, his behavior became, and he has turned and all of that, I bought that land still, but I put it in my name. When I told my brother that I want to buy the land in my name, he was like, why? Because we are not raised like that. We are 7, we are 2 girls and 5 boys. We don't hide things. I know where I'm coming from. So I put that land in my name. So his behavior kept worsening by the day. So fast forward, when I had my first son, my mom was to come, but my mom. When I came here, I was doing before I came, while I was in Nigeria working, and so I was running my degree program by funding myself, supporting myself. So for me, the next year, we have now married traditionally. Then because I'm now married, it's okay. I told him that, okay, I want to pay myself, just to tell him as my husband, okay, just to know, for him to know what I'm doing. He said, no, I should not pay. He will pay. That when I come, we'll discuss about it. I came, that was the end of that study. He didn't pay. I didn't continue the studies. He said, I will study here, all that, and all that. Fast forward, I didn't study here again. Now, when I saw things, I noticed that he wouldn't want, he just cut me. I have business, and I was into decoration business. I do some things for some big companies and all of that. All my equipment, everything, I left them in Nigeria. I was saying my plan was just when I come, I will continue with that. But everything cut off. He was like, put me down, that I will not. He was a student nurse then here, and was also working, part time. So to fast forward, everything about me stopped, and I was not earning work. I was not earning money. Sorry. Okay. So I had my boy. My mom didn't come. He said he doesn't have. All the people said he brought his mom, but I thought his mom is my mom. And no issues with that. The mom came, we are all fine. She came, and after that,
sorry to interrupt you, but just because of time, could you tell us how it ended? So sorry to interrupt you.
To fast forward, when I had my second baby, I said, okay, can you just bring my mom so that she can support me? She said, it's not bringing anybody. But then, unfortunately, I had my baby via emergency CS. So before then, I worked with Amazon. I gathered, I saved some money. When I was pregnant, a very tedious job. So, but I had to do the job because I am not the kind of person that can stay on my own and without. I'm not one person. I don't depend on anybody for my livelihood.
Okay.
So make some money. I don't eat with 2 hands in the mouth. So when I had my CS and then so bring my mom. Okay, I'll sponsor if you refuse. I left it.
Okay.
Then later I started work again, and I was working the childcare in this country is terrible. He was not supporting me in any way. He doesn't. In fact, everything about the kids, yes, he pays all the bit in the house, but everything about my kids, their feeding, their clothing, everything.
You take care of that. So from what I hear you, Ijoma, is that because of the sort of person you had married, you had to step up for yourself and protect yourself. Thank you so much for calling in and sharing your contributions, but we have to go because of time. Let's go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue with our conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.